HoloSmith. First one. Here we go. This is it. This is where we might be able to get a lot of it. The traits are the golden thing. Like, the ability is obviously very, very cool. Very, very fine. But the traits are the main thing that we want to go through. We've got an hour and 10 minutes. So, overheat. Reaching the heat maximum results in a self-damaging explosion that deals damage proportional to your health and additional damage over time. So it's a dot. Photo Forge is disabled until all heat is lost. Wow, okay. So when you hit that point in time where you overheat, base health damage is 4k. This is percentage base, isn't it? It said. In a self-damaging explosion that deals damage proportional to your health. So this is proportional to 21.5k. So if you want to work out what the 4k is in terms of that percentage-wise, I mean, go ahead. Doesn't say that, does it? Base health damage over time. And then over time... Wow, okay. Is that interval the 796? It's like 800 damage. Damn. Yeah, it should be in this area, you're right. I think so. Base health damage, we see that interval is half a second. Duration is 2.5 seconds. So it's only a 2.5 second total. So that's... Whoa, so is that... the base damage over time. So base health damage. So the first, when you overheat, he'll take 4k damage. So that'll be down to whatever. Should definitely be a Sarai, I do agree. I keep looking in the chat and forgetting the numbers that I'm trying to deal with. So that's 18.5k. Ooh. It's not 18.5k, is it? I'm just trying to think of the total. I need to get a calculator out because I'm fucking rubbish. Yeah, 5 ticks. For 2.5 seconds. Let's just do the math quickly. So, but this is in terms of 21.5k that we've got one right now. But we can get an idea of how much health gets taken off percentage-wise. So 21.5, 21.522 minus 3,981 is 17,500-ish. And then we do minus... Okay. So in all, it takes us up by roughly about 13k, 13,500. So that's just under 50%, so about 40% health, I think. That's going to affect you too. Yeah, about 8k. Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Another weird out, 40%. Good stuff. Okay, good. I'm just glad that I got the math was okay. I've literally got it over here as well as I'm doing it. So that's cool. So that's an important number to remember. 40% damage. And that's total over 2.5 seconds. That's a lot of damage to take on top of additional damage that's coming elsewhere. And if you can see the percentage of the actual engineer himself, sorry, of the HoloSmith himself, and what his heat is at, you can use that to your advantage to really bring in like a high amount of burst yourself. God, this is going to be really high risk, high reward. I don't know if this will get used in PvP that often. It will at first. Okay. That's cool. So that's explained. Pretty good. Okay, light density amplifier. So we're going through a lot of traits here. This is going to be 11 or so. 12, sorry. Including the first one, just went through. Light density amplifier, Photon Forge reduces incoming damage but has increased passive heat generation. So extra heat per second is 1%, damage reduction by 15%. Good for PvP. Prismatic Converter, deactivate Photon Forge, converts conditions into boons. This is where we saw the traits change. And again, this doesn't say additional, so this is what the kind of thing it should say, the total. So conditions could to boons over 100%, and it doesn't say additional. So this makes me think the additional from before question that we had about one of the abilities is going to be rather than the 5, the 7, if that makes sense, if you've watched this from when we were talking before. In terms of the Sword 2 ability. Deactivate Photon Forge, converts conditions into boons. That would probably... There's a good choice. That's a good thing, actually. So this gives you a choice of actually whether or not you take Alchemy still, or you still take Alchemy, and you can use elixirs with this build. This could be it could be very elixir based, actually, HoloSmith, because you can't really use kits while in it. So you might actually not use kits at all. Although elixir gun is still awesome, because you've got condition removal, but acid bomb is good. But you've got the elite that can cleave on the ground. So there's actually things that could replace elixir gun as well, potentially. And I'm not saying that elixir gun, is a really... It's so good. Like, it's so good for so many reasons. Condition removal, cleave, acid bomb, weakness, swiftness on the second ability, poison, removing conditions as well from your team. So I really think that HoloSmith as well can take you from that very more supportive role to a 1v1 / potentially a nuker as well at points if you go into the pistol ability and Photon Forge. Jesus. There's a lot of potential different things. Heard something in Wooden Potato stream about devs using some skills to mitigate the overheat damage. Yeah, like heals and stuff, I guess. Oh, like that previous one. Like this. So damage reduced by 50%, you mean? But this, whether or not that's incoming row itself. Okay, let's have a look. Deactivate Photon Forge. Alright, we've not got that far, so that's okay then. So solar focusing lens. Your first few attacks after entering Photon Forge inflict burning. So it's very much a burning thing. There's burning, invulnerability, bleeding, cripple. And there's a chill from the heal. So it's got a fair few different conditions. Not poison, torment. But still, it's pretty good. And again, if you haven't got Elixir Gun as well in this build, you've got no poison. Okay. So Key knows a little bit more than I do at the moment. The bonus is also granted if you overheat. So the first few attacks keep burning. So Photon Forge activation. Your next attack sets the target on fire. 2. Photon Forge overheated. Wow, so if overheated, you're doing a shed load more extra damage. Jesus Christ. Okay. So really, like, ooh, I'm going to end up killing myself so many times. Heat therapy. Gain health. This is why engineer is my thing, because of, the therapy thing. Blah, blah, blah. I think it just depends. If it tastes good, it depends what you're doing, man. If you're in a raid, that is the trait you would take if you're going to run HoloSmith. You're not going to take the other two. If you're on a PvE, you're going to take that. If you're in PvP, you're not going to take it. So remember that there's different things for different occasions. And we are talking generally more about PvP, but it doesn't mean it's a bad trait because it's in other things. And if they were just PvP traits, then sure, it's not the greatest thing in the world. But when you go through traits, I have to think about it in terms of the game rather than just PvP as well. Yeah, and PvP. I mean, those first two are good. Those first two I think are pretty good. I think, the minus 15% duration, minus 15% damage is good. Let's have a look at that second one again. This Taskin, you're a really good person to ask. Would you necessarily take away alchemy from this? Would you still have alchemy inventions, or could you go with explosives? Just put your thoughts down. I'm just wondering about your thoughts. Yeah, man, it's cool. There's some good potential. I actually think you're going to be more... I mean, can you see yourself also being more 1v1 on the sides? Is stronger than you like were before, like being able to kill people in 1v1s. Like I was saying that I actually think that this is going to be a stronger 1v1 build, and like... Yeah, because I think alchemy and... But you wouldn't necessarily run elixir gun, right? Like you would run potentially more elixirs, actually, as well. And especially if you can 1v1 more and actually win the 1v1 quicker. But still, it's going to be good in team fights as well, because the variabilities, obviously, like the arena and stuff. I'm not sure how many of these you're going to take. The heal is okay. Yes, exactly. That's the thing. So we don't actually know. But you can't use kits while you're in Photon Forge. That's the thing. That's what it's saying. So that's my thought. But you just literally come out of it. And the thing is, there are condition removal abilities in like some of the HoloSmith abilities as well, which you can remove conditions through, and the traits like this prismatic converter. I know. I think that there's a possibility. I mean, we'll try it, right? I know, yeah, I said before as well, it gives too much. Like every single ability is good for a different reason. Like weakness and damage on the first one, swiftness on the second, poison and condition removal on third, acid bomb for cleave and extra damage, and then fifth skill obviously with a blast on the acid bomb and condition removal, and also just a bit of healing. Yeah, it's good. It's fantastic. If they gave that... wow, okay. Bloodlords, he is not what you say that word is, and he's a good man. He's a friend of mine, dude. He was generous enough to give us the footage, man, and he's a good man. They gave him permission to go. It's not his fault. He's a good man. You should go and check out his stuff. He's pretty rude, dude. Be nice, man. I know you're trying to be nice to me, so I see what you're trying to say, but he's a good man, trust me. And he does a lot of stuff. Like he's been doing a lot for a long time, you know. Thanks. Bloodlords, you're very welcome to stay, man, but just try and remember that he's actually a friend of mine. I actually have a lot of respect, and there's no way I could get this footage without him. So if anything, I would rather people have the footage than no one have the footage. I am sad that I didn't get to go, but it's not a PvP Expac, and I understand that. Abilities and stuff are where I'm good at, so this is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make the most out of the situation I can, and he's very kindly giving us the stuff, which is awesome. Yeah, and don't shit short streamers as well. There is that base ability. The base ability. Anyway, okay, heat therapy is done. The trait does not function while calling due to an overheat. Gain health per unit of heat lost. Okay, that's actually not too bad. So you actually can regenerate health. Does not function while cooling due to an overheat. Okay, it's actually not too bad. Yeah, there you go. It tastes good, said it. Light strike storm. Launch an arc of light at your foe. Crystal, you've put me off now. Launch an arc of light at your foe. So damage 739, heat gained. Obviously, don't pay too much attention to that damage there. Number of targets, other than, if it's exponential, because it's different depending on what we're running. Stats as well. Explosion, Photon Forge, skill 1 now fires explosive projectiles, but generates extra heat. Ooh, the heat generation might be good in PvE builds, I guess. Okay, Corona Burst grants stability on each attack and creates a barrier for each target struck. Crystal Configuration Eclipse. Extra barrier. Stability. That would be the one we'd use. Probably. I don't know what the third one is. Corona burst. I can't remember which ability that is now over here. Wasn't that one of the tool belt skills? Explosion's finally getting some love. Lol. Crystal configuration. Pardon me. Because I couldn't read it. No, I'm doing it this way because I got the video and it gives everything. It gives the animations. It gives everything. He's just going over the traits. It looks fine. You can see it on the screen. Yeah, okay, it was that one. It was the AoE skill with multiple hits. Okay. We can flow through it. I mean, you'll feel free to drop the link in Teskin if you want. It's just nicer to go through a video. It's easier for me production-wise as well. That's 2 in Photo Forge. Okay. Okay, so the Holo Leap removes impairment, it removes movement, impairing conditions, and grants super speed instead of swiftness. So that was the second ability on Photon Forge. Was it the second one or the third one? Second, I'm pretty sure. So that was the leap with the sword. So that's not too bad. It's a bit like that warrior trait, right? Like movement abilities remove cripple and immobilize. Was it shield as well? Can't remember. So it's quite similar to that. What I'm concerned about is that it doesn't give the swiftness or super speed to you, apparently. What, this one? Well, that would just be a bug then, I guess. Or we might be talking about something else. Laser's Edge. While Photon Forge is active and you're above the heat threshold, your outgoing damage is increased. It's just that, really. So you even want to be 50% increased. Show the one before. Isn't this quite similar to the warrior one? Yeah. Oh, so if you use this one, it doesn't leave the holo pad, you mean? Oh, the middle one, okay. Yeah, this one. Corona Burst grants stability on each attack and creates a barrier for each target struck. I need to go back and look at that, which we could do that as well. I'm just writing a note for that myself on that one. Because if someone can quickly look up what the Corona Burst did exactly, that would be cool. Because otherwise I have to search back through the entire video and we can actually talk about that in itself. 2 hits and 5 targets. Okay. Maybe we could go through it quickly. Ah, no, we'll wait. We'll go for the rest of the traits. I can't remember the damage though, the actual numbers, like specifically. 5 pulses. Oh, the AoE thing, the thing that's around you. Isn't the AoE kind of hexagon thing? Yeah, okay. We'll go for the rest of these first. So that's quite good. Extra damage, PvP. PvE good for... Vent exhaust. Damage nearby foes and apply conditions to them. Lose heat. Lose heat? Okay. Stack activates heat therapy if you have not overheated. Oh, cool. Okay. Dodge rolling vents heat as an attack against enemies. So that heat you lose... Attack will not occur without heat. Okay, so you need to make sure you do that. So dodging is going to do damage and remove heat from you if you're between... So if you're, say, I guess 75% or 75 heat is probably quite a golden number you want to be around, right? So, but if you want to burst someone down, then you want to be 100% heat. But also, if you're 100% heat in PvE, then you can dodge to remove that heat and inflict burning onto the boss or to your target or whatever. Is that just single target? No, it's 5! Jesus. That's 3 stacks of burning for 5 targets? That's crazy. Ah, swings a hammer then explodes. Okay, it's that ability. Right, okay. From before, not this one that we're talking about right now. Dude, this is quite good. Like for PvE especially, I guess. And even like in team fights, like to add like burning pressure, that's quite crazy. But I can imagine there's going to be something that's quite different. Fireball. Okay, let's continue. Most at the end of this. Enhanced capacity storage unit. Increases maximum heat capacity. There you go. This is where it came from. It was to 50. Yeah, okay. So it is, you can increase the amount of heat from 100 to 50. Okay. So then there are some abilities which do more damage or are accessible by getting 50 heat. And it isn't a percentage as in a 50% or heat. But that raises that up. So there's points. Hopefully that gets... I don't know whether or not some of these abilities that you use where you need to get 50 heat are taking into comparison... Like, when you've got this trait enabled, does that go up? I don't think it does. Is this good? It just takes you longer to get to 100% heat, though. Yeah, the previous one was 15%, yeah. That's in with heat therapy. So 15% heat lost. Where was heat therapy? There we go. A little bit forward. I don't know the exact number, dude. Damage from Photon Forge moves seems so high, getting up 150% heat might be worth it. Okay, yeah. Just depends how much heat is generated. We need to go back as well. So this is the thing, like I need to play it. Play how it feels like in a fight versus something else. Because if you're playing someone else and the fights are going to end quickly, you might not be able to actually do that. Yeah, that's good. There's a lot of synergy in this build, like when you're talking about like the minor traits, and it actually says it there as well, so you don't even have to think about that. So damage nearby foes and apply conditions to them, lose heat. This attack activates heat therapy if you have not overheated, which obviously overheated brings you out of that, so you have to deactivate this thing to be able to get the bonus of it as well. Rather than actually... Oh, no, wait, that's wrong. Oh, okay, yeah, I understand. So you don't have to deactivate it at all. It's just literally on the dodge. That's cool. Ha! This information overload for me when I'm tired is not good. And I'm old. Yeah, this is the only one I really know anything in depthly about at the moment. Hey Fire, how you doing, man? I'll probably give it at the end, to be honest, and we'll go through the video very quickly, like just talking about it. But I like it so far. He's creating good. I'll see what you're talking about. Increase maximum heat capacity. The might's okay. Some skills and traits gain additional heat tiers. Okay. Oh, some of them gain additional heat tiers. Oh yeah, because obviously, you know, you're going out to 150. Or 150%, sorry. Photonic blasting module. The names are so long-winded. Overheating now blasts damage to nearby foes and no longer deals its initial damage to you. Aha! Heat cannot be lost except after you've overheated. Gain hit therapy and laser's edge after overheating. Oh, and this means that it negates that trait where it says that you can't get it from overheating? This is literally the first class I've got really into fire. I like looking at lots of classes when I've had access to them rather than just like doing this. And you guys can't see. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Sorry, guys. It's an to working time. And it's a blast finisher. Forge 2 does 2k damage on 2-second cooldown. This is really good, actually, this trait. So let's have a look for it. Damage over time from overheating is still applied, of course. That makes sense, because otherwise, you know. So this is really, like, this is the trait I would take, guys. Because, and thanks for the follow, because otherwise, I'd probably get wrecked. Let's be honest with ourselves. I actually really like this. Overheating now blasts damage to nearby foes and no longer... Is there a builder where we can talk about this? I have to get Tayskin in for a video. I think maybe Zan and... I don't know if RG's going to play this. He's not really been around that much, so maybe someone else. Leica, actually. Hey, Ifis. Well, the video is here, but this VOD will be available. You can go and watch the VOD as well now. And there's the link. He gave us permission to do this, so that's cool. So he's very awesome, man. He's giving him some awesome permissions, so that's cool. So yeah, I mean, there's that or the middle one, right? But that's the choice. Like, what would you take? That's good because it makes sure that you don't take that initial 4k, so 20% damage to yourself. It's got the Sword 2 ability when you're in Photo Forge, which gives you a leap and it gives you swiftness. Yeah, there you go. And on the smaller sword, yeah. Fox, we can, man, but we haven't got long until the raid. That's the problem. It's going to take me ages. It's taking me 2.5 hours to do this. I love it. It's great fun. This is the kind of thing I like doing. Just going through it. Like, I won't be the one to necessarily theory craft builds, but just thinking about the abilities and stuff. Alright, quick look. Yeah, if you want. If you can link me something, that would be cool. Explain it real quick. Okay, let's see what else we got, though. See, I'm torn between these two because, you know, 150%, you can gain extra heat, so there's less chance of you even getting to the point of being overheated. But the thing is, 100% heat gives you extra damage abilities. So I actually think it depends what you want to do, right? And what the role is between the two. Hey, Snow. Hey, KCMO TV. How you doing? Okay, so let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so guys, go subscribe to BogOtter as well. He's a good man. He's a dude. He's got other stuff as well on his channel. Living Story, the Sparking the Flame one. And it's got mounts as well, so he's got some stuff on mounts. So go, his Facebook is /BogOtter. His Twitter is @RichieBracopia as well. So go and check him out, man. He's a cool dude. He let us